Welcome to the Blogger Genius Podcast, brought to you by MiloTree. Here's your host, Jillian Leslie.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Blogger Genius Podcast. Today, I am excited because I am joined by my good friend, Paula Rollo. And Paula, you guys might have already been introduced to her. Paula is the MiloTree Community Manager. She's also my right-hand woman. I'd be nowhere without her. She's a blogger who has been blogging for many, many years. Her blog is called Beauty Through Imperfection. And today, we are going to be talking about advanced tips for affiliate marketing. Paula has been doing affiliate marketing forever, and she has really upped my game. So hopefully she can up yours too. So welcome to the show, Paula.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So this is your second time on the podcast.
Yes, I'm excited.
So I will link to your first interview, and I thought it was terrific, and we talked about a whole host of things, but little did I know that you were an affiliate marketing expert. So tell us kind of how you think about affiliate marketing and what tips you have to kind of up somebody's game. We're thinking that this is for people who understand what affiliate marketing is, who've tried it, maybe with some success, maybe without, but who really want that passive income stream.
Sure. So I love it. It's one of those things that I ignored for a few years, and then when I really understood it, and I think I went to affiliate summit or something like that, and just really finally was able to wrap my brain around how powerful affiliate marketing is, and I've been all in since then. I feel like it is one of the most passive ways you can have an income. Obviously nothing's truly passive, but where a sponsored post disappears
right,
as far as your income goes, affiliates don't, and they can get stronger and stronger. And so my goal is always to have my affiliate income matching my sponsored post and my ad income, if not exceeding it, because it's not as dependent on page views as ads is. It's not here today, gone tomorrow, like sponsored posts. You can truly have a steady affiliate income stream, which is why I'm so passionate about it and excited about using it and making sure other people use it well, too.
Exactly. And you know what I would say is when we started with Catch My Party, brands would reach out to us and I would feel so happy, oh my God, Target wants to work with us. That's incredible. And then what I realized, though, pretty quickly is that we would work really hard on those sponsored posts. But the problem is you can't scale them. So as soon as it's over, and the money is good, and then it's gone. And it's not like that post is useful anymore. And then you're waiting for another brand, or you're reaching out to brands. But what I realized is when I had a whole, a plate full of sponsored posts, I'd be happy. But I'd also go, oh no, I now have all this work to do. And then once that work's done, it's done.
Right. Exactly. It's never coming back.
It's never coming
back.
back.
And maybe they'll hire you again in a year, but you're going to have to put in the same amount of hours to do another amazing post for them, which is just a lot.
And I feel like people were upping their game so that what used to work as a really good sponsored post back in the day no longer was as good, because now it had all these other, brands got smarter or Absolutely. Just more demanding.
Yeah, both. I think both. Because they'll come to me now sometimes and be like, well, we wanted your images to look like this. And I'm like, well, there's not an image on my blog that looks like that. So why would you expect that from me?
Right. Or they want this number of social shares. It used to be kind of easy, and now they want you to hit these numbers with them. So I have found that the world of sponsored posts, even though we've been doing them for years and years, it hasn't gotten easier. It's actually gotten more time consuming.
Yes, and a lot more demanding.
And a lot more demanding. And it is a little bit, for me, of trying to hit a moving target. Mm-hmm. But just in terms of before, the brand would be like, yay, thank you. Great. Here's your check. And now they're like, can you reshoot this? Or it's not exactly what we were thinking.
Yes.
So
it's so hard.
I found it more difficult.
Well, and that's one thing that when I'm communicating with brands on my own, a lot of the time, one of my favorite ways to do that is to try to get sort of a hybrid going. So I'll ask them for 50% of my normal sponsored post fee, and I'll let them know what my sponsored post fee is. And this is 50%. And then I ask them for an affiliate commission. And when they're able to do that, like some brands don't have the technicalities set up for a affiliate program yet or something like that, but a lot of them are willing to set it up or give me a code so that that can happen. And then it's kind of the best of both for both parties. The brand has a little bit of security where I'm actually going to make some sales, or I'm not going to make up the rest of my income that I wanted from this post. So they know that I'm planning to do that. But then I also have the security of, sometimes I think a brand's going to do amazing and it doesn't, and it falls flat. And I got some pay today for the work that I put in.
Can you give an example of a brand that you've done that with?
It's oftentimes like smallish brands.
Okay.
So, like maybe an app, like a lot of the more techie brands will do it that way. Or I've done like a small travel, company has hired me to talk about like their bags and traveling with kids. And so they gave me a small sponsored post fee, and then they give me I still make money off of that post that was technically a sponsored post and was technically below my pay grade because I got the affiliate commission as well. And
Great.
So that's one of the most interesting ways that I think a lot of people aren't taking advantage of is, and you can do it on both sides. If somebody's contacting you about a sponsored post, pitch them that you want an affiliate commission as well. Or if you're working regularly with an affiliate, you can reach out to them and be like, I want to do this super mega awesome sponsored post for you. You should pay me extra on top of my affiliate commission. And a lot of them will agree to that as well.
I love that. No, here's just a question. Are affiliate percentages, like what you get paid, are those fungible? Meaning, are those negotiable?
Absolutely. And that's another thing. I do that frequently with brands is I'll reach out to them and say, I have, you can see it. It has to be someone you've worked with before. They have to be able to see that you've done something for them.
And that you've made money, right?
Exactly.
You've made everybody money.
Yeah. That you've brought in customers to them. Like there's this brand that every month I'm selling these like I See Me personalized books. People love them. That's one of my biggest commissions every single month on my blog. So a brand like that you have like a track record with, you can reach out to and say, this is what I'm planning. I want to do this amazing post. I want to do it at this time. Will you double my affiliate commission for this month? Now they're not going to keep your affiliate commission at that level forever. Like they're not normally allowed to do that. But you can ask them for a special promotion or something along those lines. Would you mind doubling it? Would you mind bumping it up from 15 to 20 or things along those lines? And then when you push that new post or you push that Christmas roundup or whatever it might be, you're instead of getting $10 per sale, you're getting 15, and that adds up.
I've never thought to do that. That is a very good idea.
And normally those affiliate people are really excited.
Because you're excited.
Because you're excited and they want you to stay excited. So, I mean, I wouldn't ask for something crazy, but even just asking like, is there any wiggle room? Could you increase it and see what they come back with and just kind of take it or leave it. But if you're not super comfortable with throwing out like, I want this number, I know a lot of us are kind of timid about negotiating still, and that's okay. But just asking what they can do is a good way to kind of get your feet wet to see what's possible.
Right. Now here, I will just say that I went to business school and spent a ton of money on business school, and I've come out with a couple little pieces that I remember. And one of them is the concept of anchoring, which is again, negotiating is tough, and it's especially, I think, tough for women. But if you have the courage to throw a number out, that will probably benefit you more than saying, hey, tell me what you can do, only because what tends to happen is if I say, hey, how about 30%, they will negotiate even without knowing that they're doing it around the number that you throw out. So that's just a thing that I remember that I want to share.
Yes.
So that little gem was like $10,000 for business school. Okay. So anyway, so keep going. So okay,
$10,000 in your affiliate conversions.
Exactly. There you go.
You can get higher commissions now.
Exactly. But just always think about that. I always think about that when negotiating, that even though it feels uncomfortable, to put a number out, because they will negotiate around it.
That's awesome.
Okay, so tell us more. Well, first of all, should we take a minute just to say that you run the MiloTree affiliate program?
I do.
And will you just talk a little bit about like what your job is and what you do and how you have helped us grow through the affiliate program?
Okay, so I've been an affiliate of MiloTree for years, like long before I knew you, really, other than being the CEO of MiloTree. And I always love it. MiloTree is one of those really good affiliate programs, I feel like, and I'm not just saying that because I run it. It was really good 2 years ago when I started being an affiliate, or however long it's been, because you get $20 per referral. And what you're referring is such a cheap product, like as far as how much money they're putting out right away. Because normally you're getting, with most affiliate programs, you get a commission, right? So if they buy a $10 product, I'm probably going to get $1, which is not very exciting.
Right.
But MiloTree is 30 days free, and then they have to pay $9. And as soon as they pay that $9, I get $20. And
well,
so
wait. Okay, one last thing though. They have to go through 2 pay cycles.
Oh, is it 2? Okay.
So therefore, we make $18, and then we give out $20.
Yes. So they get the 30 days free, and then 2 more months.
Right.
But still, I feel like that's a very cheap. In the person's mind, they've only spent $9 because it's been 2 months of $9.
Right.
So that's a pretty easy sale for me to make. And normally to make a $20 off of one thing, like I just sold a mattress or something, which is not going to happen very often.
Right.
But I can sell an app that's $9 a month pretty easily. So that's one of my favorite programs, just like programs that work like that as an affiliate are some of my favorite to participate in, because it's easy to make, $50 to $100 a month off of one product, which is always the ideal.
Right. And if you join our affiliate program, you will get emails from Paula with tips. So it's just even worth it I'll put a link to join the affiliate program.
Yes, because I try to send out tips like every other week about ways that you can implement MiloTree and advertise it on your site. Here's a feature maybe you didn't know about, because I know I'm constantly using things that I don't know all the features of.
Right, totally.
So I'm like, I've used MiloTree for 2 years and didn't realize it had email stuff with it, or whatever. So I'll send out those tips, and that helps you. But they also, they're evergreen. You can apply them to other affiliate programs that you're with.
Yeah.
I know you're not just an affiliate of MiloTree.
No, in fact, I think that you're all about making people smarter affiliates.
Yes, I am, because it's such a wonderful way of promoting products, and I think it serves the reader better than most other marketing ways.
Can you explain that? Explain what you mean.
So ads are, I use ads, and I love them, obviously. Love the paycheck I get from my ads every month. But they're not really serving my reader all that much. It's like you have to see something in an ad, 9 times before it starts registering. So that's not a great experience for my reader. I have ads because they're making me money. Sponsored posts may or may not serve your reader.
Yes.
It depends, sometimes you just get those brands, and it's funny, my son gets this. I got this sponsored post one time, and I was driving in the car, and I think it was actually a sponsored tweet, and we were driving, and he's like, oh, where are we going? He's 6 at the time, and I said we were going to the store to get something for a blog post, and he's like, oh, what are we getting? Sometimes it means a toy or something exciting, and I said, oh, well, we're getting water at CVS, because they're paying us. I probably shouldn't have said the brand, but we're getting water. And literally my 6-year-old from the back seat goes, no offense, Mom, but I think everybody already knows about water. And I'm like, you're right. This is not a very effective thing that they're hiring me to do. I would never post an affiliate link to water, because everybody already has water. Everybody already has their opinions about water. I'm not changing anybody's mind. Right. But the products that I sign up to be an affiliate for, like MiloTree, like I See Me for these personalized books, like all these other affiliate programs I'm in that particular affiliate program because I adore the product and I'm excited about it. And I feel like it's something my readers might not know about.
Right.
And so I'm
Right.
connecting with them by solving a problem.
Right.
Where, yes, my readers need water, but they're not really coming to me for that.
It's kind of like, I think you can be a much more authentic helper.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know, if
and
you
can solve problems you didn't know they had also, because you're bringing up products, you know, before I mentioned it, my reader might not have known about MiloTree.
Right.
Before I mentioned it, my reader might not have known that they could get this personalized book about becoming a big sibling for their toddler.
Right. Right.
And so it's bringing them brand new information instead of just being like, hey, this big box store that you already knew about has water, which is a product that you already know about.
Right. And again, if you are that kind of person who sees people at drop off for your kids and is like, oh my God, or you know, have you tried this? Like, if, you know, there are always those people.
Yeah.
If you are one of those people, affiliate marketing, I think, is perfectly aligned for you.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I'm bragging a little bit on sponsored posts. I do them and I do my best to make them useful. You can make a sponsored post useful. Absolutely. Even if it is just about water. Right. And I do.
Right.
But it's a much easier, more organic, more authentic thing when it's a product that I'm actually really excited about and not a product that I'm kind of like meh about.
Right.
But I'm weaving it into a more useful story.
Right. And for us too, when we still do, but doing sponsored posts, we'd always say, okay, what value add can we provide? Whether it be a free printable, whether it be a recipe, something that the brand hasn't asked for. And yeah, it's serving the brand, but we would always say, how can we justify this?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Versus we're just shilling for this company because it feels bad.
It does feel bad. It does feel bad, but then it's frustrating because you created this whole recipe and you're not going to be making money off of that recipe for the rest of your life, where if it had been an affiliate product, you would be making money off of that recipe for the rest of your life. So
tell me some more things that I would not have thought of.
Okay, so one of the biggest things, and this one's always funny to me because I'll mention it like, or I used to mention it like it's old hat, and everybody would be like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh, I thought we were all thinking about it this way. So I don't know where I picked this up or how I just kind of automatically started thinking about it this way. But the way I view affiliate marketing and affiliates in general is that I'm going to treat them like they're my products. Meaning, if I wrote a book, or which I did, and if I made a course, which I did, I squeeze that thing into everything that I can on my site. I talk about it all the time. Every relevant post has, look how great my book is. Look how great my course is. I spent, 10 years trying to create this thing, so you better buy it, is how I feel. Because right. I spent all that time making it. And realistically, for a lot of those products, I'm not going to make that money back in the time that I spent in it. I created it because I wanted to,
Right.
My book doesn't sell millions. I wish. But I put it everywhere. Now, affiliates save you time because you have this ready-made product that's amazing and you can put it everywhere. You can rave about it like it's your own because you hopefully have this personal connection with it. It's changed your life in some way. Put it in everything.
So give me an example.
This isn't for an Amazon link. This wouldn't work with Amazon because Amazon gives you nothing.
Okay.
This is for something like MiloTree, where you're working with another blogger. If another blogger has a book, if another blogger has a course, you generally get higher percentages from other bloggers because they're so excited. Like the only way that they're getting out there is if we all help each other, right?
Got it.
Another blogger is probably, here's a $10 book they wrote. Well, they're going to give you $5 of those dollars to promote it. That's a huge win versus if I promoted a book off of Amazon, I'm going to get like 10 cents.
So what I think I hear you saying is, if in fact you're somebody who creates courses, you're going to, of course, want to promote your course. Right. But what about promoting somebody else's course?
Absolutely.
It's not like an Amazon.
I need to make this course? Or Is there a really good course that I could promote instead? And you can save yourself a lot of time. Now, there are people, of course, that make like $10,000 courses and they make their millions and all of that. But the amount of work and effort that it takes to have a $10,000 course is more than I'm willing to do personally, and more than most of us are even able to do.
Right.
But we can ride their coattails in a way and make a couple hundred a month off of each of them, and we didn't have to do any work other than researching the product a bit at the beginning and then adding it to our relevant posts. And so if I'm really passionate, if I'm really excited, if I know the brand backwards and forwards, I can treat it as if it's my product.
Yes.
Obviously not telling people this is my product, but I adore it like it's my own, and I talk about it like it's my own, because I'm actually making more money off of that than I would if I made my own product.
In fact, right. And of course, all the time you save. Like I remember interviewing another blogger, and she makes meal plans or recipe books. And she said, I will promote my competitors because there's enough that goes around. There's enough. And that if I can make a sale, maybe a product that's like similar but slightly different or for a slightly different audience, she will promote it. And I remember thinking, wow, that's genius.
Yes.
So it's like even in your own space to believe in abundance and to offer multiple options, not just your own option.
Well, and it will build your credibility as well, because you can say like, here's the product that I offer and here's who it's for. But if you're this person, you might actually better be served by this product from my friend. You're making money off of both, but the person's like, wow, I can really trust her. She's not telling me that her product is the end all be all, but she's realistically giving me the view of this recipe book has this type of recipe. This recipe book has this type of recipe. I can make my decision as an informed person now, instead of going to her site and reading her bias about her product and going to someone else's site and reading their bias about their product and not really knowing what's the best choice for me.
That is terrific. And if there's a product, like let's say somebody makes a printable or a course or something and they don't have an affiliate program, you might want to reach out to them and say, I'd like to promote this. Could you set up an affiliate program? Because it's not that hard to do.
Yes, I've gotten people to make them for me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people think, like, especially if they're new to the industry, they think like, oh, no one would want to sign up to promote my product, or they're not really sure, so they're not going to spend time on it if they don't know that there's interest right away, because they don't know how to do that piece of finding the affiliates. It's a hard thing to do when you're first starting. So reaching out and saying that, and even just saying like, here, sign up for Gumroad or Refersion or, one of these and work it out. Oftentimes they will do it.
Yep. Okay, that's great. So now tell me, do you have any other ideas?
Okay. Yes. I have so many ideas. It's like fitting them all into however much time we have is the issue. Another strategy that I use that I think is a little underrated by people, like, I don't know, people just don't pay attention to this stuff, and I love it. Thinking about not going broad. So we think with our affiliate links, like, I just need to get people to click them. I'm going to put like a gotcha and they'll just click it and it'll be great. And that's just not effective. Like, people don't buy that way. But if you can get in, instead of casting a really, really wide net, try to cast a narrow net where people are actually looking to buy. So yes, I do put affiliate links in every post that when I can. I forget a lot of the time, but like my intention is to put an affiliate link in every post, because if they're going to buy something, I want them to buy from me. Yep. But my actual strategy is not based around I'm putting affiliate links in every post. My strategy is based around trying to hone in on some keywords that are smaller and more niche, that they aren't getting a bunch of noise from everyone about, that they'll actually want to buy. So there's two sides to this. One is that, like, going into Christmas, we're all going to be making these like toy roundups and gift roundups, and I mean that's just what you do at Christmas time, right? you put the affiliate link, and they're annoying but effective. So do them, but there's a way of doing them that's more effective, because if I put a affiliate roundup of like the best gifts for toddlers, for example, not very compelling, and they could go to my list and it has however many things it has. Like if it has only 10, then they might not be interested in something, but if it has 100, they're going to be overwhelmed. And so getting someone to actually action something that's like gifts for toddlers is really, really hard. You're not going to get that much actioning from that. But doing more niched in roundups, like the best board games for toddlers, it's an actual post I have, will the people coming to that post actually want to buy a board game?
Right.
They're already ready to buy a board game. They're interested in a board game, and you're just going to tell them which one to buy and why. Where best gifts for toddlers, they might be looking at that before they go to Target to buy a gift for a toddler and just getting some ideas and getting some inspiration, and you're not going to make the sale as easily as you would from somebody who's already decided, this is a toddler, it's my nephew, I'm buying him a board game, tell me which one I should get, and I'm going to order it right then and there because I don't know if Target has it.
Yep.
So trying to, instead of saying, I want to reach every mom of toddlers.
Right.
No, absolutely you don't, because that's going to be page views, but it's not going to be purchases on your affiliate links. You want to go narrow and think, what specific thing might someone be looking for? Right. And create a really useful roundup of those things. You're going to get a lot less page views. Yep. But the page views that you get, their intent is actually to buy from you. Yep. And so it's a lot more powerful, even though it's probably not going to go viral. But honestly, the chances of your toddler best gift ideas going viral is quite slim, because everybody has a best gifts for toddlers. I have one before I knew better. It's still on my site. I still promote it, but it makes me much less money than the board games for toddlers does, or the gifts for kids who like to wiggle, or things along those lines where you think like, oh, Billy likes to wiggle. I'm going to click that and I'm going to buy him something because you resonated with me already. You already showed me that you understand this child more than just it's a toddler. But you know who my son or my nephew or whoever, you know who they are as a person. And so I want to buy from you because you get them.
And I would say, tell me if you agree, to start with yourself. So if you have a wiggly kid, you understand what wiggly kids need. So I don't have a wiggly kid. So for me to do the wiggly post doesn't make sense.
Right.
But go look in your own life. Like if you love moisturizers and you have serious opinions about moisturizers for dry skin, because you have dry skin, go write about that. Or let's say even better, you've got eczema, you know? And so you understand that. Whereas if you've got oily skin, don't be writing about dry skin because you think the dry skin market is bigger than the oily skin market.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So look around your own life, like pull from your own experience.
Yes, what you wish people were. Because I think especially with those roundups, people just try to cover everybody. Yep. And that just makes it where you're actually covering nobody. Yep. People don't go and feel, oh, I feel so understood after reading this. She addressed every issue that I have with my skin type. Yep. You're just like, she literally just went to Amazon and took all of the 5-star rated things and threw them in a post. And I could have done that. Yep. So now I'm annoyed and I'm mad. And actually, my husband literally does this. If he lands on a post like that when he's looking for information, he will X out and then go to Amazon himself to look up the same product because he doesn't want to give them the sale. He's that petty.
Yes.
But he knows how it works. So if they give him good information and he doesn't buy right then, he will go back to the site like a week later and click it and do it because he knows how it works.
Right.
So it amuses me that he's that way, and he's not even a blogger, but
right. But it is that idea. Like if you are providing value, people will they want to thank you. It's a way to say thank you.
They're happy to help you make money if you're providing them value.
And it doesn't cost them any money.
Right, exactly.
So it's not like, well, contribute to my Patreon account.
Right.
So, okay, tell me some more.
But so the second thing with this is kind of like a two-part thing, is having a second page strategy. And what I mean by this is I read something a long time ago, and I wish I had bookmarked it because it was from like an actual, I think, psychologist. But they were talking about how clicking through to a second page on your site builds a lot of trust. Like if someone's willing to do that, then they trust you a lot more. And so psychologically, they're more interested in purchasing from you, and they're more likely to purchase from you if they've gone through and clicked to a second page. So I was fascinated by this.
Okay.
And I tried it out because, and I'll just give you the example of the post I've done it in. And I've done this with like multiple posts since, but there was like this initial post that I wrote years and years and years ago that did really, really well. It was like in the stages where things were still going crazy and saying viral on Facebook.
Yes.
So it was like
long time ago,
2014, 2015, somewhere in there. I don't remember when I initially wrote it, but I wrote this post about overcoming child abuse. And it was about how to talk to your kids about abuse in age appropriate ways. And you and I were actually talking a little bit about this before the show, but how to have those conversations. Like I talk to my preschooler or I talk to my toddler, and little ways that I do that, not like terrifying ways, but just little subtle things that you can do to kind of empower your kids and make them feel in charge of their own bodies, to let them know if something weird happens that they can come and tell you without having to have a concept of what different types of assault are and what could happen and things along those lines. So anyway, I created this whole post. It was great. It was going nuts. It was going viral. Well, there's these children's books that talk about these things, which I adore, like Your Body Belongs to You and I Said No, and like there's a whole collection of them that you can read literally with a toddler, and it introduces these topics, but they're really fun and they're bright and they're colorful, and the toddler doesn't really know what they're learning, but they are.
Right.
And so I initially had one of those like Amazon native ads in there.
Right.
With all those books. Was not performing well. Those things never perform well for me. But but I had it in there and all the books were there, but it wasn't doing anything for me. And what I did was I created a second post. Second page, whatever you want to call it. And it was essentially a roundup just of these books. So it was like books to teach your child about child abuse. No one's searching that on Google, I can tell you right now. No one's on Pinterest looking for this post.
Right.
But I created this post anyway. And I talked about, I think it's just 4 or 5 of the books. There's lots of them, but I talked about the ones that I had read. I talked about what ages I thought they were appropriate for, how I would use this book, how into detail that it goes. Because some people want more in detail books. Like as my kids have gone into elementary school, I've told them a lot more than what we were talking about when they were 2 and 3.
Right.
But we did start these conversations legitimately when my kids were 2 and 3. And so I talked through each of the books with a picture, with an affiliate link. These are all going to Amazon. And you know I don't like Amazon, but this is just where those books are. Right. So it's all of this. And I just link to it in the bottom of this very emotional, very personal post about overcoming child abuse and talking to your kids about it. And then say, you know, if you want to read more, if you want to learn how to talk to your kids about this, click here. I've created this resource for you.
Wow. And
so people have had this emotional experience with me, but I'm not just leaving them with like, oh, have a good
here, buy my stuff, buy these books. Yep.
Yes, and I'm also not leaving them there. They want to action it because they're feeling something.
Yep.
And so then they click through. Only the people who are interested in actioning it click through, and then they buy the books. I wrote this post years and years ago, and I still, like, you know, in Amazon, you can see exactly what's purchased. So many of these books sell every single month, and it makes me so happy because I know so many kids are getting educated about this. But it works because I don't promote this post otherwise. Like the images for it are abysmal, and just the topic, like how do you phrase how to teach your kid about child abuse in a way that makes people want to click on it? You can't do it unless they've first read this other post.
Right. I mean, it is, you've created a purchasing funnel.
I guess so.
You know, that like as the person, the idea behind the funnel is somebody comes in at the top and they kind of go down the funnel, and the funnel gets smaller, meaning you put lots of people at the top, but not everybody comes out the bottom.
Right.
But that you're being intentional as you move them through so that they trust you, so that they understand what they're buying, all of that stuff. And you're kind of guiding them rather than being like, oh, here's this personal post and just here are some links to buy stuff. You're saying, okay, you want to learn more?
Go here.
Go here. More. And this is more of me, because you're putting yourself into these posts, into the post with the books.
Right. Yes, they already know me and like me, presumably from the first post.
Right.
Or they wouldn't have clicked through.
Right.
Where if they just came upon that post all on its own, and I feel like this is how a lot of those roundup posts end up, like you're kind of annoyed. You're like, oh, I thought this was going to be really helpful.
Right.
And it's just them selling a bunch of products. Where if there was a step one,
right.
Now instead of landing on that post and being annoyed, they're landing on that post and being like, oh my gosh, this is so helpful. She did all the work for me and I can figure out what I want.
Yes.
And so that second page post is actually really, really powerful and can convert a lot of sales because you're really doing all the work for them. And even for like other products, like this is one I haven't done, but is on my list to do this month. This I See Me people that I keep talking about.
Right.
I sell a ton of their books because I have all of this content about becoming a big sibling. And they have a personalized book specifically for becoming a big sibling. And so I sell those in the posts themselves. But I could actually do a review post, which I'm not a review blogger. I'm generally like just promoting a review post on its own. I'm like, yuck. Like I know that there are review bloggers and those are valuable on their blogs, but on other people's blogs, I'm like, why are you just reviewing something that's annoying? Right. But I can tuck this review post. I'll backdate it on my site, so it's not on my homepage. It's not what I'm known for, but I can put like, for a full review of this product, click here.
Right.
On some of the products that I'm really interested in. Or same with MiloTree. Like doing a whole review of MiloTree and putting it on my front page. I'm not going to do it. Right. Love you, but not going to do it.
No,
but
I get it.
I mention MiloTree in a lot of my blog posts, and it's helpful to be able to have a little, like I use MiloTree. It saved me time growing my social media. That's like 1 point in a post of maybe 10 points about social media growth. But I can link them to here's a full review of MiloTree. I'm going to tell you everything about how amazing it is if you're interested.
Yep.
But you didn't have to spend 45 minutes scrolling past an interview about MiloTree. If you already have it, you already know about it, you already love it.
Right.
So it's really kind of serving people better by making them click a second time.
Yeah, and having these very focused posts.
Yes.
Again, if you're going down that funnel, like fewer people are going to click on your second post than clicked on your first post.
Right, but those people have an intent to buy.
Right, you want to get to those people and make them feel comfortable and get them excited to actually make the purchase. Versus like, I don't know, I see, gosh, how many products a day? Like thousands? And how many do I buy a day? Maybe less than one?
Right, of course.
But it's like, it is interesting to see as you as a consumer are going through your experience on the internet, what is it that makes you want to buy?
Right.
Just evaluate, like think about your own behavior. And like even now, hearing you tell this story, as you're talking about the second page, if I went to that page, I would buy. But I get how I wouldn't necessarily buy on the first page.
No. And if I came to that second page on its own, I wouldn't buy.
No.
But if I came to it from the first page, I would. And that's what's so fascinating about it to me.
I get it. It's a little bit like connecting the dots. Mm-hmm. And holding my hand through the purchasing journey.
Yes. Yes, and you're making this sale personal.
Yes.
Instead of just trying to make the sale, because people know if they're being sold to, and it annoys them.
Yes. Yes.
And some people won't even buy from you if you're trying to sell to them, which is counterintuitive because we just said people won't mind if they like you. And that relational piece is what makes the difference between people knowing they're being sold to and being angry, and people knowing they're being sold to and thanking you for it.
Right.
Like people in my real life have thanked me for the second page post because they've purchased the books.
Right.
But that's how much of like how you can know how authentic it was, because there's sometimes when I do things people in my real life are like, really? Like,
right.
Really? Or you're doing that? Like, that's not, necessarily in line with who you are as a person. And I'm like, I know, but it is with my readers or, whatever.
Right.
But for something like that and for an affiliate thing, that people in my real life know how true this is and they go by.
Right. And they can feel it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And my readers can feel the same thing. They don't know me personally, but they think they do.
Right.
And so they go by.
Right. Okay, give me one last tip.
I feel like it would be remiss to talk about affiliates without talking about the FTC.
Okay, let's do it.
So we're going to have the link to the FTC in the show notes.
Great.
And I'm going to say to bookmark this page. Because
Good.
every few months, there will be a meltdown on Facebook about the FTC changing rules, or is this allowed, or is that allowed, or whatever. And I don't even engage in those conversations anymore because people get so irritated with each other and so just in their head about what they're allowed to do and what they're not.
Yes.
And I'm very strict about the FTC rules. Like, absolutely do not just look at what everyone else is doing and follow them, because most bloggers are breaking the law.
Okay. Good.
Like,
I mean, I'm glad we're getting to this. Yes.
Doing hashtag AFF is not legal.
Okay.
Doing affiliate link is not legal. That's just not according to the FTC. But the FTC is very clear about what they want. They don't say you have to say XYZ. You can do it in an authentic way. You can do it in a way that makes sense for you. But you have to disclose. You have to disclose before a link. And it has to be able to be understood by the average person. Like, that's where they are at right now. And this is August of 2018. So if this is anything but August of 2018, click that FTC link that we're giving you and go make sure that it's the same. Because that's the frustrating thing to me about this is the reason why these conversations get brought up and people freak out about it all the time, is because they'll listen to an old podcast or they'll read an old blog post and it's from 2015 when the FTC had different rules. And so then they're like, oh my gosh, I have to change everything. And they get everybody riled up on Facebook and people are freaking out. And you just go to the FTC yourself and read it. It's much simpler now than it used to be. It makes sense. I'm still annoyed that we have to do it, but that's just a pet peeve.
Yeah.
And you can do it in a way that's authentic and that makes sense to your site. Like, I've partnered with these people. I adore them. You know, I try to make it really authentic sounding. On social media, it's more difficult to do that. And oftentimes I'll just put ad. Right. Because you can't put affiliate link. And I know that for people in the industry, they're like, it's not an ad. And I'm like, I know, but that's all that the average consumer understands.
Right.
And so I'll put ad.
We did a lot of work with Bounty, and the truth is I use Bounty and I love it. The environmentalists out there, you might not like me because I love paper towels. Anyway, but I would write, this is a sponsored post. We are partnered with Bounty, but I do love Bounty. And I use it every day.
Absolutely. And I actually, in some of those, I have a second page for my disclosure as well. Not the legal disclosure that we all have to have, but I have a page that explains sponsorship to my readers.
Ooh.
So it's like, if you have any questions, click here. And on it, I explain, this is my full-time job. This is why I do these sponsored posts, but also I'm able to tell them, sometimes I get really high paying jobs. Like, I've turned down a $900 job before because I didn't believe in the company. Yeah. And that means something to people. They're like, oh, okay, she's not just literally shilling for anybody. Like, yeah, I did the blog post about the water, or it was a tweet, but did I think that was really changing anyone's life? No, but it was helpful, and I believe in the brand and the service that they were offering. It was kind of a unique-ish service with water, but I still laugh about it. But it worked. It was okay. I didn't feel bad about it. But then there was a laser hair removal post that I was offered a lot of money to do, and I was like, I can't. I'm just not interested in that. It wouldn't work with my readers. I just no. But I can put all of that information there and kind of explain my heart behind sponsorship, behind affiliate links, behind why I'm making money on this, and I'm not trying to take advantage of them. And for the few people who care or are curious, they click through, and I have gotten some click-throughs on it. And I think that it builds trust for those people without me having to spend a whole paragraph explaining, I'm doing this in a way that's not lying to you, I'm not misleading you, but I can keep that authentic. And yes, I adore this brand, and I normally try to put those things in there, but I can keep it to a sentence and then have another link out to something else that's a little bit longer and that shares a little bit more of my story. Like, I've sent back product to a brand because I emailed them and said, I'm going to give you a bad review, or you can take your product and run. And they took their product and run. But things like that happen, and I'm not just going to give a good review to get paid.
One thing I have to say about just hearing you talk about this is what I really like about what you're saying is you will use pages on your blog or a second post to elaborate, to tell who you are, to be your authentic self, that you recognize most people don't care.
Yeah.
But for the people that do, you're going to go that extra step and explain yourself.
Yes.
Explain.
Absolutely.
And there's something, so that if somebody wants to know who you are by reading your blog, they can.
Yes. Yes. And that's important to me. And as a writer, it's easier for me to do that than I feel like some people who writing's not their thing. It's
Right.
like, it's hard enough to get this blog post out today. I'm not writing a second blog post. And I get that for sure. And you could do some of these things in video form if that's easier for you. Just set up your iPhone and have a chat with your readers.
Right.
Or just space it out a little bit more. Like I have now this initial second post that I was talking about with the books.
Yep.
I have like 6 posts that all point to the second post now. And so you can try to create things like that as well, where you can look and say, you know, these 4 posts on my site do pretty well. I'm selling kind of like halfway, trying to sell this product in each of them. I'm going to write one more post, even if writing's a challenge. I'm going to write one more post and really sell this product and just link to it in all 4 of these things. And you'll see more results from that than you will from writing a brand new post and linking it in as an afterthought.
Yes. And I talk about this a lot, which is you want to find your 1,000 true fans.
Yes.
You don't need 1,000,000. And if you get an extra fan because you've explained yourself and how you feel about affiliate marketing,
yes,
chances are somebody's going to read that page and you will have turned them into a raving fan.
Yes, instead of just
a fan who whatever.
Mildly interested.
Yeah, but again, and by the way, I'm sure those pages do not get a lot of traffic.
Oh, not at all. They've never been in the top 10. They're probably not even in the top 100.
But, kudos to you if you can get somebody interested enough to want to know more.
Yes. Well, and there are pages in my top 10 that will never make me a dime. Like truly.
Yes.
Other than ads, of course.
Yes.
But there's this post I did when Beauty and the Beast came out about it that got, I think, like 300,000 page views in 2 days or something insane. But nobody bought anything from me. Nobody stuck around. Nobody cared about me other than my opinion on Beauty and the Beast. And a lot of people got really angry about me for my opinion on Beauty and the Beast. But how dare I be okay with a children's show? But it's just fascinating, the world of the internet. But that post, I got huge payout from my ad network. From those 300,000 views. Like that was just insane. Right. But today, it's 18 months since Beauty and the Beast came out. My blog has had no positive impact from that post at all. Right. Where the 10 people, I don't know, maybe it's 50. I don't look at the numbers on this second page post hardly ever, but however many, very few people read that post every single month. It has a huge impact on my blog because they make purchases, because they stick around, because they send it to their auntie or their mom because they're like, hey, I'm trying this new thing with my kid. I need you to not just force hugs on him anymore or whatever. Right. It's being passed around and it's changing people's lives. Yeah. Which is important to me. Yeah. I know that's not important to every blogger and it doesn't need to be, but that's important to me. And the pages that matter on my site reflect that. Wow. Paula, I love this. Again, it's like you get to change people's lives. You get to make the world a better place and you get to make money. Yes. Which so is it feels more. I'm not against the money. No, and then that's the thing. But it's like finding those things like the wiggly kid and exploring parts of yourself in your own life that you feel comfortable sharing. Yeah. And figuring out how you can be of service to other people who might be struggling with this and find solutions to help somebody, and then the benefit, make money off of it. Right. Absolutely. So that you can and don't feel bad about making money off of it. Right. And then you can repeat it. Mm-hmm. Exactly. You can find the next thing that will help someone and the next thing and the next thing. And brands love it because they know that that's converting true fans. And, your readers love it and you love it. And that's the sweet spot for me. It has to be happy brand, happy reader, happy me. So Paula, this is great. So if people want to learn more about affiliate marketing,
about how to take their post to the next level, how can they reach out to you? How can they work with you?
Okay, so I offer a few different services because I feel like everybody's in a different place and has different needs. And I'm passionate about affiliate marketing, so I want to be able to help you wherever you are in that. So I do affiliate masterclasses where I just kind of teach you some of what we were talking about today and how to implement this. I walk through it with you, but it's in like a group setting. So that's like the low budget option. Then there's also a like one-on-one coaching. If you're like, I don't know what my blog needs, but I need it to be working with affiliates, I need to do better, but you want to do it yourself, I can do one-on-one coaching with you where I'll go through your site and I'll come up with a plan for you, and then we'll talk on the phone and I give you that plan and tell you how to implement it. And that's always really fun because people feel like very empowered that they did this themselves, but they have all the tools they need to do it, which is important. So we don't get stuck spinning our wheels, not sure if we're going in the right direction and things along those lines. So it removes all of that worry and just lets you know exactly what will work for your site. And then the last thing I do is affiliate management, which is different. Like I do it on both sides. So like for Jillian, I manage her affiliate program. And so all of her affiliates, I talk to them and I help them do well. But I do the other side as well, where if you're a blogger and you know that you need to implement affiliates, you know that maybe you have some ideas of what brands you want to work with, maybe you don't, but you can hire me to come in and optimize your site for affiliates. So I'll add the affiliate links in your site, I'll add the images, I'll go through everything and update it. Because I know when I started working with affiliates, I was like 800 posts deep in my blog, and it took me like 18 months to add all the affiliate links that I knew I needed to add and do everything that I knew I needed to do. But the reality of running a business and trying to add in something else is a little bit daunting.
Great. So if people were to reach out to you, what is the best way?
Yes, just you can email me directly. My personal email is just my name, Paula Rollo, Rollo, at gmail.com. And if you reach out to me personally, I'll get back to you and we can kind of talk strategy and figure out what you want done, or I can help you figure out what might be the best fit for you, anything like that. Just let's have a conversation and figure it out.
I love that. Okay, and wait, we have to do one more plug for MiloTree.
Yeah.
So if you have not joined our affiliate program, definitely do. It's on the bottom of our homepage. You can see a link, but we'll put a link in the show notes. But that way also you'll get to hear from Paula and from me. And hopefully, to be honest, when I get to send money to our affiliates, it makes me really happy.
Yes, everybody's winning in that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, Paula, I love working with you. Thank you for being my right-hand person. And thank you for coming on the show for part 2. And we will come back and do more affiliate stuff in part 3.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you're liking the Blogger Genius podcast, please head to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. It will really help. It will help other people be able to find the podcast. It will help me get really good guests. And I thank you in advance. So thank you.